welcome back. This is the JR Wisdom channel. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Once again, got another great topic for you guys today. And today I'm going to be discussing how I use the power of detachment to live my best life. Now, for those of you who are familiar with law of attraction and basically how emotions affect certain things and how you can will things into existence, this is sort of similar to that. As we know, detachment is very important when it comes to vibration, frequency, and things like that. But for those of you who aren't into that type of stuff, I'm just going to give you a background on myself and what my situation was, basically repeatedly throughout my life, and how I basically just detached from it all and things started happening. And I basically am at the point in life where I really wanted to be at. I know there's always more to do, but it's basically I've accomplished a lot of what I set out to do. So with that being said, detachment is one of those things that many of us, we have a hard time doing. And that could be from people, places, our environment, drugs, for example, memories. Memories is a big one, which I'll get into definitely in this video, is memories. And that's one of the things that many of us, we can't let go, is, things repeatedly coming across our minds. And it's like in a methodical, for lack of a better term, we have a methodical thought process, and these things keep coming back. And me personally, I've discussed in videos previously about how I suffered from unresolved grief at one point because of not being able to detach from certain situations in my life. Even our jobs, you get stuck on a job, and everything boils down to, a lot of times fear and why this occurs. So to basically, taking you back into time in reference to my situation, I've always called myself more of a person who tends to worry a lot and tends to be pessimistic. I had a pessimistic mind for most of my life about negative things happening and dwelling on. If you're one of these people, you might know what I'm talking about. You dwell on things entirely too long, and you think about things entirely too long. And some people can just let things go just like that, and they tend to float through life, and good things tend to happen to people who basically who are detached overall, who are carefree. And you hear about these people who float through life. But me, in my situation, I was not one of those people. I was easily agitated, very emotional, had a lot of stuff built up inside. When negative things happen to me, I'm like, why is this always happening? And that would be my biggest thing, having this attachment to memories or what people have done to me. Someone's done me wrong, and just feeling that about myself and not being able to get over stuff. And that led me to a lot of times living in the past. And this was, definitely from, let's say, around 2010 to basically 2016. It was just like a cloud in reference to that. More so than the rest of my life prior to that, but it was even worse. Those 6 years, it was just like a cloud. And I was just like, you feel like you're about to lose your mind. And I really wasn't seeking any type of help. I would just be talking to people, trying to get advice, or not really get advice, but vent. And you take advice from people, and it sounds good. It's like a pep rally in the moment. But unless you start implementing things, or you discover things in within yourself, and you come to the realization that if I just let go and detach, basically that roadblock will be removed. Once you get to that point, and it's the hardest thing to do, but once you realize that this roadblock will move, this roadblock will be moved, this roadblock will be moved, because your focus and your concentration is no longer there. The more you resist by thinking about these things and by being attached, attachment is resistance. The more you resist, the stronger it becomes. And we suffer in life. Anything that you may have suffered from, whether it be the death of a loved one, some type of pain, is because of attachment. It all boils down to attachment. I'm not saying that you shouldn't love something or love period or care for something, but at the same time, you know that you should keep your eye on the prize, and the prize is your happiness. And I can't say that clear enough. The prize is your happiness, and in the moment, it's like, I don't want to hear this, man. What are you talking about? I don't want to hear this crap. You know, it almost feels good to be angry or to be attached, because it relieves you of some responsibility by you saying the reason why I can't move on is because you did this, or because they did this. You divorced, you left me, you broke my heart, or I'm on this drug, or I'm on this vice, or I'm in this place, or this job. You know, I can't move on because of this. And instead of it absolves you of any responsibility, when just by focusing, honing in on yourself, you can rid yourself of all of that, and things will change rapidly. So back to what I was saying, back to these 6 years, I wanted reality to be other than what it was. Instead of just facing reality, being bone cold honest, as I say, with myself, and realize that you can't make people act or behave or be other than what they are or what they're going to do. You can't make, only thing that you're in control of is yourself. And your mind is your greatest protection against this, and your mind is your greatest enemy, because you're fighting your mind. It's a battle that you're fighting, but it's not even realistic. So if we walk this earth just being relaxed, just being cool, observing your emotions instead of reacting to your emotions, because it gets people in so much trouble. It gets people in situations. It leads to their demise, when all they have to do is be in control of their emotions. Realize that something maybe I still get frustrated to this day. I get frustrated on a daily basis, but I have to stop. I'll be talking and then I have to stop. I'll be talking to either someone, or I'll be talking to myself, and I'll have to stop and realize that, separate yourself, detach yourself from this feeling, observe it instead, and completely detach from it, and address it at a later time. Then just realize, don't get yourself out of character, because I'm going to end up dwelling on it. And some people take these things home from work and take it to sleep when they go to bed, instead of detaching completely before, and finding your peace at this point. So it's one of those things. So in reference to, back to my situation though, I had gone through a divorce, and I was raising three of my sons, my 3 sons alone, and I wasn't working in the best job. I was working in 2 horrible jobs, in my opinion, and nothing was happening. Originally, as far as the divorce wasn't happening. It took me 2 years to get divorced, and I filed for divorce. Not to say that, anyway, it took me 2 years to get divorced. I had to file for divorce twice. It wasn't happening because of an attachment or anger, me being attached to me having these feelings, and it being attached to the way things should be, instead of just letting it go altogether. And the moment where I set that in my mind to let it go altogether, that's when I got my divorce. Same thing with the job. I was on a job which I kind of I started out on a crappy job, went upgraded to like another job with better pay, and it just wasn't happening. It just wasn't working. I was like, there has to be something better. I want to be self-employed. I can't work for someone. I'm in the position in my life where this is a dead-end job. It's a thoughtless job. I can't work at this job. I have to move on. So I finally found like a side hustle, which eventually became a lucrative, career. But I still, kind of out of fear, didn't quit the job. And I was still working at this job till one day I just said, "What are you afraid of? You've been kind of making it," because at this point I was like, I got hurt on the job. I wasn't getting paid. I was living off my side hustle or side career. And I said, you know what? One morning I just said, I'm done. And I just quit that job, and I've been fine ever since. That roadblock was removed. I detached myself from that fear in that situation, and I was able to travel all these places I always wanted to go. I was able to wake up when I want to wake up. I was able to get the things that I wanted to get and not have to worry about so much stress from that job. And I was basically able to put myself in the position that I always wanted to be in by detaching myself from that situation altogether. The old version of yourself must die. If you're attached to that old version and the way things were done, that person must die for you to evolve. It has to happen, unless you're just going to be stagnant. It's just the way it is, and a lot of us have such a hard time detaching from that persona, so to speak, and becoming who it is that we want to become. And this is necessary, and it's all because of fear. You have to be ready to let go of things that no longer serve you, that no longer compliment you. Same thing, I was in a relationship, and I was attached to this person. Even after my divorce, I was attached to this person, and we ended up breaking up, got ghosted, no contact, all that stuff like that. And I was attached to her, and I was just like, man, this is crazy. And I should have known better. So I did some searching within, and I realized that you can't make anyone be with you. Once again, you can't make anybody do anything that they want to do. They have to choose to be with you. So I tried to get back with this person and ended up getting back together. But this time around, I already had it in the back of my mind that you must love in such a way that the person you love feels free. I wasn't that same person I was before we break up. I completely changed. I let her do as she pleased and live her life as she saw fit, and I wasn't concerned or worried or basically any attempts to be any sort of like minuscule portion of myself that was being controlling. I let her do her. I let her feel free. And in that process, the attraction was stronger than ever. So, and that's the way I look at life now. Even with situations that I have no control of, or situations just in general, I try to live a carefree life and not put too much thought into things. And things typically turn out fine. Things typically turn out fine, and because I take the pressure off. If you just take the pressure off, you would see how things just come to you naturally, how you attract things naturally just by taking the pressure off. I can't say it enough. I'm living, all this magical stuff we're talking about, I'm living proof of it. I'm living proof of it. Anybody who knows me and knows where I was and where I am at now, me realizing that, and people think that you may come across as an a-hole or you don't care about anyone but yourself, and that's not true. It's just that I place myself first, and I realize I'm number one, and it's good for my mental health to not have anything an attachment, so to speak, that will cause me to lose my mind or cause me to lose anything in my life that I've worked for and the position that I'm in. So I realized that, first of all, and that was through the power of detachment. I encourage you guys, if you're not, to practice it in relationships. You must love in such a way that the person you love feels free. Any vice you have, anything you feel that is bothering you at night when you get ready to go to sleep is an attachment. Let the pressure off. I encourage you to let the pressure off. Align yourself in a neutral frequency. What do I mean by neutral frequency? You're indifferent, you're good either way. You're not over the top, you're not completely sad, You're not losing your mind. You're a neutral frequency. Whatever flows, flows. Whatever crashes, crashes. That's a neutral frequency. Vibration, raising that vibration up to the point where you are at a neutral frequency. And you'll know what frequency you're at or where you're vibing at based upon your emotions, because your emotions are a biochemical feedback of where you're at. So I hope that this video helps some of you guys who are watching. That's my story, and I'm living proof, like I said. If you guys got any comments, if you've been using the power of detachment or any testimonies in terms of that, please feel free to speak on it. If you got any comments just in general, leave them below. If you got any questions you'd like to ask, please feel free to email me, or if you're looking for some advice, all the links are in the description, my contact information. I also have some videos popping up here shortly. You should see them coming up here. To find out more information about the topic I'm discussing right now, feel free to click on one of those and check them out. And I invite you to subscribe as well. Gently hit that subscribe button to, get some more content that I may have to offer that you may like. So with that being said, remember, anything lost can be found again except for time wasted. Peace be upon you and the mercy and blessings of the Almighty, and I will catch you guys on the next video. I'm out of here. Peace.